Former Liberal Foreign Affairs Minister Lloyd Axworthy joining us today from Winnipeg. Thanks for your time, sir.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
In the past, did Canada take a public stance on human rights abuses in Saudi Arabia? And if they did, was it handled, or if they did, was it handled in a quieter way?
I think there was always a very clear articulation of the support we had for not only human rights at home, but also internationally. In fact, I think Canada has always been, really going back to Second World War times, one of the leading architects of developing a global system based on rules of law and respect for human dignity and the choice of being able to make your opinions known. So this is not a new role for Canada. I think what is different is that the kind of over-the-top berserk reactions of the Saudis is something that was not expected, and maybe we need to take a very careful look at the forensics behind it. Is this just simply the Crown Prince kind of losing it, or in fact is it part of a broader playbook that a lot of these sort of despots and dictators who are kind of gathering together is trying to target a country like Canada, which stands for these international rules and values.
So there's a bit of a mixed message coming from that country in the sense that they've moved to let women drive for the first time, which is huge. Yeah. But then, as we say, they're also cracking down on those or anybody who voices any opinion or opposes them. So what message are you getting from Saudi Arabia?
The message I'm getting is I'm not sure they know what they're doing. I think the Crown Prince has come in, with a great fanfare about being a new reformer, a new age, new generation Saudi leader. But he and his father have actually been engaged in some of the worst kind of abuses, including executions, including imprisonment of anybody who has any dissenting point of view in that country. So they're trying to have a PR campaign about how they are opening up the system, when in fact what they're doing is they're opening it up only for the spin effect, not for the real content, which is to give people a freedom to choose.
Quite often, if there isn't any public discussion when there's this kind of conflict between the countries, there are private discussions behind the scenes. But our ambassador has been pulled. So do you think there are any backroom discussions at this point?
Well, I hope there is. I mean, I don't think Canada wants to get into this kind of mudslinging fight with the Saudis. I mean, they picked the fight. They're the ones who are kind of continually being aggressive about it. And certainly there's reason to keep the contact going. But at the same time, as I want to come back to the original point. I'm not sure that this is just a sort of ad hoc, spontaneous, crazy reaction from one leader. It may just be that there is part of an growing coalition of autocratic rulers, monarchs and dictators who don't like a system where there is freedom of individuals to speak and to dissent. And Canada has always been at the forefront of those kind of issues. So, we saw Mr. Trump at the G7. Now we're seeing the Saudis play this game. I think that's why I say, let's as Canadians, we need to take a pause and think about this and say, we're going to be really on the front line if this continues.
Got it. Lloyd Axworthy, sir, thank you for joining us. I do have to leave it there. Appreciate your time.
Okay, thank you.